What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Save Point Podcast, Episode 5. I am Alex, and this is a video all about DC fandom. I want to go over a couple of different things, kind of announcements, talking about it tomorrow. But I want to start off by just saying that we're going to be live streaming later today. You guys are watching this video. It comes out on Friday. Later today, Christy and I will be live streaming. We'll be answering any and all questions we get, talking to you guys, and kind of go over, I guess, in real time, going over the last things we want to say about DC fandom before it happens. So obviously, this is again the Save Point Podcast, a weekly show. Normally it airs every single Saturday. This time it's a Friday, just because tomorrow there's bigger things going on than this show, and that's completely okay. I want to thank you all so much for the support you've been showing me. I know it's a small, but honestly an incredible group that it seems like we have that watch these episodes. So thank you so much. Remember, you can be a part of the show by supporting us on Patreon or YouTube memberships. We have a $2 tier. We have a $5 tier. You guys can pick topics. You guys can ask me topics. You guys can ask me questions, and I feature them on the show. Now, we're not necessarily going to do any of that stuff in this episode. Specifically, next week, we will go back more towards normal. This week is kind of just talking about DC fandom, but that's generally the way it works. And again, supporting the show financially, monthly, you get to, I guess, be featured on every episode or any episode that you guys choose to. So I'm pumped. Now, I'm recording this on Wednesday, so every day gets more exciting. Every day they do something else, right? In real time, my time recording, right? Yesterday, Tuesday, was when Suicide Squad put the hotline number out, which I called and I texted, and it was great. And I believe today, Wednesday, they did a Court of Owls Snapchat filter, which is cool. I mean, I don't use any of that stuff, but it's cool. It's very, very cool. And it's not, I will say this, it's not the same level as it was last year. Yet again, last year was this huge, what are they doing? What's going on? So it was last year was awesome. Last year, what they put us through in a positive way was really, really cool. And granted, there's really no way to replicate that again this year. But, they're doing all the right things. They're getting people excited for it. And I know that's just talking about Gotham Knights, but I'm so ready. I mean, that's really... So I did a poll on my channel talking about, what people are most excited to see. And Gotham Knights seem to be number one pretty easily, I would say. I think that's fair considering, well, it's a game. My channel is more gaming oriented. And also, it's the closest thing in the two games to releasing. At least we think so, right? Whereas Suicide Squad probably is a little bit later than that. You have the Batman movie, which I put on the poll, and it's actually doing... I think that right now, the poll is Gotham Knights is number one, The Batman is number two, and then Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is number three in terms of percentage, which is kind of what I thought. I mean, Batman obviously is a very popular, in case you guys didn't know. If you didn't know who Batman was, it's a very popular character. And so, you have the other ones, Black Adam. I'm excited to see, I guess. I'll be honest, I think that is a specific movie and even property that I'll get more excited as time goes on. But right now, I don't really, just again, honestly, I don't really care all that much. The Flash, I'm excited. That's one that's kind of in the background getting, I guess getting more excited as the days go on. The Batman movie, again, obviously for the trailer. Aquaman, I want to be excited, and I really like the first one. I mean, I've always said that I love the first one. I still think I do love the first one. It's just the Amber Heard situation, and it is what it is. We've talked about it enough. I don't want to bore you guys or drive you guys away, but because of that, I mean, as I've said, I'm not seeing this in theaters. It's absolutely not happening. I will watch it without paying for it. Let's just leave it at that, and that's it. And we'll judge her particularly harshly in the movie and go from there. So, that's kind of iffy. And then everything else, as I've said before, to be flat out honest, I just don't care about. I mean, I've said it before, I'm not a comic guy. There's all of these animated, movies and shows that happen. It's they're cool, and I think they all have their purpose. And I know people, even in my channel or on my channel, they really like them, and that's awesome. I want people to enjoy things. I think that's a message, especially during the Suicide Squad review, right? That's a message that maybe gets lost, but I want people to enjoy things. If you like something that I don't like, that's fine. That actually makes you a word called human, which I don't know if people, not you guys, but people outside, people don't really know what that word means anymore. So, that kind of stuff just completely goes by me. I really don't care all that much. I'm there for the two games. I'm there for the Batman. I'm there for the Flash. Those are kind of my four main. Aquaman, just to kind of laugh at Amber Heard and laugh/be upset, and then Black Adam in some ways. But that's pretty much it. Now, again, at the time I'm recording this, hopefully, dear Jesus, by the time this video goes up, we have a schedule. I actually made a video on my second channel on Wednesday, and I talked about, like, where is the schedule? Like, we know the time, 10 to 2 Pacific time. Now, again, I don't want to bore you guys too much because it's possible at the time this video goes up, they've announced it. If they do and say it was today or yesterday, like Friday, Thursday, I think that's way too late considering the DC Fandom's tomorrow, you know what I mean? So to announce the schedule for it is pretty lame, pretty stupid. I just want to know when to expect to see these things. You know what I mean? Like, do I need to be watching at now for me it's 11 a.m. So do I need to be watching at 11, or do the games not happen till 12:30? You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to know. And I've said it before, like, my family, my parents and my sister are coming to town. They're going to be staying here, with me, not in the closet, but, in this condo. And, so they're going to be here. Now they know that I'm going to be working for like a couple hours in the middle of Saturday. But the point still remains, like, well, I don't want to watch if I don't need to watch. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not the 4 or 5 things I listed out loud, I don't really care to watch it. So, like, can you just tell me? So, again, hopefully at the time you guys are watching this, you can let me know in the comments. I'm sure the schedule is already up. I'm willing it into existence. But it's exciting. It's, last year really, and I've said it before, like, for all things, I guess, considered, last year was very solid. I don't think it was the greatest thing ever, and there were so many, like, low points. We're getting, like, at the same time, though, that's kind of what the point of it was. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't supposed to, I don't think, watch last year's program for, like, 8 hours straight, and it went on for, like, the entire day. I don't think that was, like, the goal. I think the goal was just, like, there's always something. That's an entire day. It's actually, in that way, it's better than E3, where E3 is like, okay, here's like these 2-3 conferences, but they're very condensed and they're in this area. Now, I prefer that over, I guess, what DC Fandom did last year, but like, it has a different purpose. Like, the entire day is just all DC stuff, and I respect that. I respect that a ton. And again, it was the first time they've ever done it, and it was during, the stuff around the world much worse than it is right now. Okay, so I think they did overall a really good job with all those things considered. This year, I expect the same. I mean, again, this year is very condensed. I think they're going to get in, say what they need to say, do what they need to do in that time, and then get out. And that's thank you. That's all I really want from it. So I'm pumped. I mean, again, from an individual standpoint, I really want that second trailer for the Batman. Like, I am pumped. I rewatched because I made the video specifically on the Batman like a week or two ago, and I haven't watched the trailer for that movie since maybe like a week or two after it came out last year. Like, I watched it like 10 plus times. Then a couple weeks later, I watched it a few, and then I didn't watch it for like over a year. And so when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh my, it's good. It's really good. So like, I can't wait to see the second one. And we know the release date for the movie, so there's nothing they can really do to surprise us there. Then you have, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad. I mean, it's the same thing, where Gotham Knights is like, we need to see more. We will. We'll see the Court of Owls, we'll see that story trailer, and then anything else they give us is awesome. And please, for the love of God, give a release date. That's all I really want. And please, actually, on top of that, do not make it February, because February has so many games that it's just not fair and not right, if you really think about it, to put Gotham Knights. So put it in March, put it in April, one of those 2 months. Suicide Squad, same thing. I've said before, I guess my official prediction was that they're not going to give a release date for Suicide Squad. I'd like a window or even like another year. So if they say 2022, again, that really just means the end of the year. If they say 2023, obviously that means what it means. But, that's going to be something that I pay attention to. Or that, I guess I want them to do something like that versus just really the God of War is the opposite. The God of War trailer was phenomenal, but at the end of it, they gave nothing. They didn't give a year. They didn't give a month. They didn't give a window. They didn't give a date. Nothing. So it was a little disappointing and a little odd for a game like that to do it. So hopefully we don't get that for Suicide Squad. And then, could there be extra games? Sure. Will there be extra games? No. I just don't think that's going to happen. I talked about Ed Boon just like everybody else talks about Ed Boon. I made a video on it, and I still think it probably is just the Injustice movie, the animated movie. I don't think it has anything to do with a game. And again, people even point out he was there last year, and obviously there was nothing. So I want Injustice 3 just as much as everybody else wants Injustice 3, but at the same time, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll eventually happen, but I think Mortal Kombat will probably happen first, which is stupid, and I've said that before. I'm not afraid to say that. I don't think that's a wrong thing to say either. It's a dumb idea to do back-to-back Mortal Kombat games when you could do other stuff, and that's just how it is. But I think that's what's going to end up happening. So I guess final thing I do want to say, a lot shorter episode again because I didn't really include you guys into it. But no, we next week, like I said, we'll be probably reviewing House of Ashes in the show, and then we'll do like a topic or like one of your topics and questions and all that. So continue in the comments, leave me comments and questions or topics and questions for future shows, and I will definitely do that. I'll ask on the community tab, all that stuff. And again, I know for some reason I'm saying the ending of this video before I say what else I want to say, but just follow me along. Again, the $2, $5 tier thing. The final thing I want to say is, I guess, the scheduling for tomorrow. So for the first time in like a long time, there's not going to be any videos in that early morning. Normally I do a video like very early in the morning and then just like early in the morning. It's actually 3 a.m. Pacific time, and then it's around like 7 to 9 Pacific time is kind of that second video. There's not going to be either of those tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to kind of like wait on it. There'll be no videos up, and then I'll watch an immediate video on Gotham Knights, an immediate video on Suicide, and it will go in that order. I think it's going to go Gotham Knights, then Suicide Squad, and then I also want to do one on the Batman, the movie, and then and we'll keep going. So, if you guys didn't notice, based off the Scream stuff that I did this last week, because there's a lot of newer people, and people, kind of come and go, and you guys may already know this from being with me for so long. One of the things that you haven't seen too much with me recently, but I used to do a lot in years past, is when something comes out or something happens that I'm really, into, the channel really converts to like that for a while. Now, do I cover other stuff during that time? Of course I do. Do I go back to covering like a broad amount of topics? Of course I do. But like, if you notice for the Scream stuff, like if you came in on my channel like this past weekend, like last weekend, and then you came in through today, you'd maybe think I was like just a Scream channel because there's so many Scream videos. But it's because the trailer, I love it. Obviously, then you think about like the business aspect of YouTube. It's like, well, I want to make videos on it. So same thing for Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad is basically what I'm trying to get at. Saturday, tomorrow, there'll be videos. Sunday, Monday, and I'm probably just going to keep going. Gotham Knights may be longer than Suicide Squad in terms of how many days it goes, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited. Like that's another. That's like a content creation point of view, and you guys probably don't care about that, and that's completely okay. But like I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for the fans to all come together, and as we have over this past week, like that's exciting. But then I also am very excited to, do it for Gotham Knights. Because again, we did it for Scream when Abandon, remember the Abandon app on PlayStation, like when that happened, I made like 10, 12 videos in like a 2-week span. Like almost every single day was a new Abandon video. And I like doing that. I think it's fun, and it's very centralized on one specific thing. And I haven't done it much. I did it with Resident Evil back when it came out. I've done it with some games and movies over the last year, but I haven't done it like widespread. You saw it with Scream, you'll see it with Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad, and we'll see it, you guys will see it as time goes on, probably like with Spider-Man, when Scream actually does come out, when some of the bigger games in February comes out, and Gotham Knights and Hogwarts and all that stuff. So it's going to be really cool. So again, thank you guys for watching. Remember, we will be live streaming. Make sure you have the bell icon rung so you get the notifications. But the live stream should give a notification. So we'll be live in just a few hours. I don't know the exact hour, but around our normal live streaming time. We'll talk about DC Fandom. Tomorrow, no live stream, no videos during the day or like in the morning. But then as soon as, the stuff starts happening, Gotham Knights and all that stuff, there'll be immediate videos. But I'll probably cap it to like 1 and 1. I don't want to do like 3 Gotham Knights videos in the same day. In fact, from a YouTube behind like analytics perspective, it's a horrible idea to do that. So I want to limit it. 1 Gotham Knights, 1 Suicide Squad. Then you go to Sunday, then you'll get another one. Then you go to Monday, then you get. So that's the plan. That's what I've kind of planned out in my head, and now you guys know it as well. Thank you for watching. A little bit shorter of an episode, a little bit different of an episode. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you guys stick around for future episodes. Like I said, this is just kind of a place where we do topics, we do questions. Next week, the centralized topic will probably be reviewing House of Ashes. But again, We can take topics from you. We'll take questions from you. Again, if you're a $2 supporter or $5 supporter, your stuff is guaranteed to be read by me. If you're anybody else, I'll take a look at it, and we go from there, and you could definitely be featured on the show as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next episode.